Shalom, shalom, everyone. This is Jaina Yisrael in the School of Knowledge on our Saturday day Shabbat class. We'd like to welcome you to the class today. And, you know, sometimes the class gets intense. Sometimes we have a lot to talk about, a lot of things we have to cover, you know, and there's a lot of different things that comes up on the topic. You know, and I just want to say, you know, shalom to everyone so that we can make sure that we put this information out there for you all to study. Now, what I'm going to do today is going to be very interesting, and I'm going to tell you why, because we're getting ready to step over into the New Testament. Brother Donnie asked me a question a long time ago, and it stuck with me. He said, what was the purpose of the Messiah if when he came we were still in captivity? What was the point? What was the reason why he even existed, and I don't understand it. And, you know, it stuck with me. It was something that, you know, when you throw something up against the wall, it just sticks. And I went into prayer, which, I mean, I know, you know, of the Messiah. I believe in him, you know, and everybody on this phone may not. This is the beautiful part about the nation of Yehudah is that we respect each other's beliefs and we build on bloodlines. So, you know, this is an opportunity for me to share some information with you that came across from the Most High to me to make it kind of simpler. Now, for the last 3 weeks, we've been talking about the mingled seed and some things that happened and the giants and all of the things that bring and the characteristics of that Nephilim seed and all of this stuff. So now we're getting ready to bring some things into motion from the New Testament standpoint, which is very, very important, so that we'll have it. Is Sister Lavia here today? I haven't heard from her.
I'm here.
Oh, good. Can you read for me?
Sure.
Wonderful, wonderful. And like I said, shalom, everybody. This is going to be very interesting. It's going to be controversial. It really is. It's going to be controversial. But just let me get the point out. I want to be able to lay the foundation so that we understand some things that's going on. I wish for you all who are new, you know, call your pastors, call your deacons, call your family members. This is one of them shows that I think is going to be very good for us to be able to come across and have in our arsenal, you know, in our archive, so we can put this up. Because I've been around the Israelites that were non-Messianic, and I'm a Messianic. My uncle was a non-Messianic, and we lived in the same family, and he was the first one to wake up in our family, you know, and he did not believe in the Messiah. And, you know, I respected him for that. I didn't push the issue. You know, I prayed for him, you know, that his eyes would be open, you know, but he just did not believe in the Messiah. And I was like, that's good, you know, but I do. So, you know, as we progress, we believe that the wilderness is a real place. We believe that we're going to the wilderness, you know, as a nation, and that there the situation will be resolved. So I just wanted to, you know, make that announcement before we get started. You know, if you cannot, Sister Sanaya, can you help those people who may want to see the screen but may not be able to know how to do that? Can you let them know how to do that for me, please?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I was on mute. Yes. Okay. Go up to the URL line and type in www.freeconferencecall.com. Okay, when you enter the screen, you'll see like a drop-down menu at the top that says Support Features More. Then Online Meetings is where you want to go. So click on Online Meetings. Then the box will drop down. Click Join Meeting. Okay, then you'll get the ID, which is Newcomers with an S, lowercase letters, Newcomers Class. And then hit Submit.
All one word.
Yes, all one word. Okay, then you'll see a box that says Join the Meeting. Type in your address and your name and email address. When you're done with that, go down to the blue box and hit Join, and that'll get you right into the screen.
All right, and I'm going to open up my screen.
To share screen.
I'm getting ready to do that right now.
Okay.
I promise you I am. Just let me get this here. All right, and I'm going to open up my screen, and you guys let me know if you can see the screen. All right, it's open. Can you see it?
Yes.
All right, this is. It took me a minute to do this because it was very difficult as to how I was going to approach it. It was very, very difficult how to approach it, but it's necessary. You know, Malcolm was telling me today, like, we haven't even touched the New Testament. We've been in the Old Testament for 2 years, and we ain't even touched the New Testament at all. Don't you think it's time? And I said, you know what? I'm on my way there now. It's not that I've been avoiding it. And believe me, I have gotten calls and emails from some of the street preachers back down through the years like, hey, you know, we kind of looking at you because it looked like you denouncing the Messiah. I said, stop it. Just stop it. That is not my intentions ever. I'm never ashamed of him. I'm never denouncing him. I was given a mandate, and that's what we're doing. We're building the nation of Yehudah, which, like I said, we don't build it off of beliefs. We build it off of bloodline. A lot of people are angry with me because I won't choose sides. They like, you got to choose a side. Either you with us or you with them. I said, no, I'm from the nation of Yehudah, and we are a nation. We came in exile. We're all here together. We leave together. We came in captivity. We leaving together. So this is what we're doing. So today is my opportunity to share something with you. And this was a brainstorm that just hit me one day. I was like, wow. So I want to get right into this. So like I said, if you guys have any questions of any kind, just let me know. So Sister Lavia, whenever you are ready.
The New Testament, the purpose of the Messiah.
The purpose of the Messiah. Some people say, well, what you mean the purpose of the Messiah? He came and he died and he did no. It's a little deeper than that. It's a little deeper than that. And I want to want everybody to just sit down, get you some whatever you eating on and sipping on or whatever. And let's just look at this point of view, because I'm definitely putting this up on YouTube. Because there's a lot of people that fight. I mean, they fight against this thing. This thing right here has separated us as a people, so I want to put this on the record today. All right, whenever you're ready.
Reading from Matthew chapter 15, verse 24. Why did he come? But he answered and said, I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
He said, I'm only sent but for the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Somebody tell me why you think that we were lost. We were in our land. We were already in our land. It was being occupied by the Romans. So how was we lost?
We were occupied by the Romans. We were under their rule.
We was under the rule of the Romans, right? Yeah, that's true. But how were we lost, though? Because we weren't really lost. Were we lost?
No, we were scattered among all the nations. What the writers of these books, you understand, they want to say that we were lost, but we were dispersed into all of the other nations. We were dispersed into Africa. We exiled in Africa. We sojourned in Africa. You understand? And so those at those particular times, you understand. See, when they came into Jerusalem, the 10 tribes of Israel had already been dispersed. They had already been captive. You understand? And so when the Romans came in there, you understand, in that region, you understand, they just took over because at some point, I think Herod was king in Jerusalem. No, he wasn't king in Jerusalem at that time, was he? If I'm not mistaken. Well, anyway, you understand, we were under the rulership of another peoples, but not lost. We were only scattered. They write lost, but we were never lost.
I think that meant lost as in who we worshipped.
You think
not
that's
lost as in we wasn't in the right place.
All right.
Well, let me go a step further. They had the temple at that particular time. They were Sadducees and Pharisees. You understand? That some people worship the Sadducees, but some people worship the laws, and strictly only the laws. But then there were other people that worship the laws under Roman rule.
Okay. All right.
I'd like to try it.
Hold on. Give me a minute. I want little Jalen to say something. He been trying to say something. Jalen, let me tell you something. You are in an atmosphere of lions. So when you want to speak up, you got to speak loud. Because I heard your voice. I'm like, you got to speak a little louder because you're in the atmosphere of lions. You know what I mean? All right, what you got to say?
The South, you know, I talk over our elders. But I noticed that when he came over, he always talked to the youth. He always reached to them, and he noticed that he can speak out to them. You know, try to let them know who they were, or at least let them know about their God. So I believe that was the issue. A lot of them was turning away from it, and he just tried. He, was coming to save the children and put them back on the right path. But I don't know.
All right, hold on. Let's see where we live. Go ahead. One more. Sister Sanaya?
Yes, I'd like to try it. I think he came because it was prophesied way early in the Old Testament. In fact, Abraham received the information. He was told, know for an surety, that we were going to serve 400 years of hard bondage and slavery. And I don't think it was in Egypt at the time. So it was already known. So I think that's why he was sent. Even though he was in Israel to do the kind of things he was doing in Jerusalem, But I think it was because of the early prophecy.
All right, that's good. Levia said we lost our way. And then Henry said, was it the northern kingdom that was lost or scattered during that time? And then Ernestine said we were serving other gods. And then Sharon said we were lost due to the transgression of the law. All of that's good. That's good.
I have a point. I think that I think he looked down through time. He saw what our lot was going to be, and he said, I am going to come because I'm going to make provision for them to be able to be rescued. I think that's his purpose in coming.
That's good.
Yeah,
that's good.
I have a comment. I think pretty much, he was coming back to bring the kingdom back together, to start to find people who had actually started, practices of whatever country they were in. They were genetically a part of Israel, but they were not spiritually connected anymore. And so that was the people he was coming back to get. People had gotten so far off into idolatry until they had never passed that culture on to their children, and it never been passed on. And so it's the two sticks. It's bringing those things back together. That's my take on it. That's the good news.
Okay, all that's good. Let's see it from the perspective that I want to show you today. All right, Sister Levia.
Found in Luke chapter 19, verse 10, to save the lost. For the Son of Man is come to seek and to save that which was lost.
All right, so something was going on that we were considered to be lost. Even though some people think it's a spiritual loss. Some people think it is a willing loss. Some people think that it is a geographical loss. Let's see. This is what I think. Let's see. Here we go.
Why were we lost? Was it to identify those who were not mingled with the serpent seeds?
Was it? It was something going on in Jerusalem. It was something happening in Jerusalem. And as we began to walk down, okay, let's see. It says we lost our way because the leaders, the Pharisees and the Sadducees, misleading the masses for the doctrine of men. Very good point. All that's very good. We're going to definitely get into that because we have to understand that it was more going on than what we think, just like it is today. It's a lot of times I've heard so many people come on this show and be like, well, I don't understand why, we act like we act. I don't understand why the Israelites do what they do. I don't understand how they can be on the corners and say the things that they say. I had one young lady that was from New York, and she was like, I just don't understand it. She said, because, we've been walking past these men for years, and they was talking so crazy for years that we was like, oh, that's just them crazy Israelites. She said, because of the way they approached us. Nobody ever really wanted to deal with them because of the way that they approached us. And I said, So I began to study, and as I began to study, this started coming out more than anything. So let's see what happened. All right, Sister Livia.
John chapter 9, verse 39, for judgment. And Yeshua said, for judgment I am coming to this world, that they which see might see, and they which see might be blind, made blind.
Not those that see might not see, and they which see might be made blind. I said, that don't make no sense. I mean, for real. That really don't make any sense. I said, what is he talking about? And Henry said in Acts 5:31, he says he came to give repentance to Israel and forgiveness of sin. We going to get to that, Henry. Right now we getting ready to lay the sin issue to the side. We're going to lay the sin issue to the side because we know that sin has a part of it, but it's deeper than that. So we know he came before the lost house of Israel. He came to seek out those that were lost, and he came for judgment. And I said, let's see why he did all of that. And then another reason why he came. Go for it, Sister Livia.
Found in 1 John chapter 3, verse 8, destroy the works. He that committeth sin is of the devil, for the devil sinneth from the beginning. For this purpose the Son of God was manifested, that he might destroy the works of the devil.
Oh, he came to destroy the works of the devil. What works was it, you guys, that he came to destroy? What was going on?
Is it his serpent seed and his fallen angel?
That was definitely, that's been going on forever. Yes, sir. That's definitely one of them. Absolutely. What else was the works? What was the works of the devil that he came to destroy? And Jalen, that's a very good point. What did he come to destroy?
Deception.
Deception, yes, he did. There was a lot of that going on, Sister Sanaya. A whole lot of that was going on. What else?
His people.
The false practice.
The false practices, his people, the whole 9 yards. So understanding that something was going on among us as Israelites at this point in time and juncture, that it was necessary to be torn down, it was necessary for judgment, it was necessary to be able to reveal the lost, it was necessary because something was happening that was causing the lost.
Question.
Yes, sir.
What happened? Did he do that?
We're going to get to that. We're getting ready to get to that. We definitely are.
All right.
Here we go. Go for it, Sister Livia.
John chapter 12, verse 31, the ruler of this world. Now judgment is upon this world. Now the ruler of this world will be cast out.
The ruler, and who is the ruler of this world?
The enemy.
Lucifer. Lucifer is the ruler of this world. He rules this world. Right now, today. What you say, Brother Donia?
The adversary of the Almighty.
Yes, sir. He rules this world. So something is going on where he is ruling this world, and there has to be and it has to be something done about it. All right, here we go.
John chapter 14, verse 30, for he is coming. For the ruler of the world is coming, and he has nothing in me.
And what does that mean? Somebody tell me. Christ had made a statement. The Messiah made a statement that Lucifer is coming. And when he gets to me, he's going to realize that he can't find nothing in me. What did he mean by that? Somebody tell me.
Any wickedness, I guess.
Wickedness? What else? Wickedness? What else?
Any of that mingled seed.
Any of the mingled
Pure
seed? What else? Anybody know what else? What else? Somebody say sin. Somebody say blemish. What else? Well, he said he's not going to be able to find nothing in me. Somebody's only you. I don't know who that is, but it sounds really loud. Okay, thank you. Nothing in me.
He won't be able to be tracked. Like, he'll just be the only, like, bloodline. He won't have any kids. Is it that? Or
no, it's not about kids. Guess what it's about? It's about the things that are in this world that causes us to do the things to break Yah's law. So that's lust of the eye. What else is it? The pride of life. What else is it? The lust of the flesh. Somebody say sin.
Greed.
Greed.
Yeah, it
all
says,
of those things. I'm going to be pure from that. And somebody has to answer the question, how can you make yourself pure from those things? By doing what?
Turning back to the Almighty with all your heart and all your soul.
That's good. And what else, Brother Donia? What else?
Keeping the laws.
Keeping the laws. He said, I keep the laws, the statutes, and the commandments. Walking in his ways. Exactly. So now here we got another reason why he came. Here we go, Sister Levia.
Matthew chapter 20, verse 28. His life for ransom. Just as the Son of Man did not come to be served, but to serve, and to give his life a ransom for many.
So when you have a ransom, somebody's being held hostage, aren't they?
Correct.
Who was being held hostage and who was holding them hostage?
I think the children of Israel were being held hostage by two entities. This is just my thinking. This is Phyllis from Birmingham. I think they were being held hostage, one, by the systems of the Roman Empire, and two, by the evil one.
Very good. So then, knowing what we know now, who was wrong? Who was wrong, really?
We were.
No, who was wrong? Somebody tell me who was wrong.
Chittim.
Wrong was Chittim, but who was wrong lineage-wise?
Edom.
It was Esau. So Esau held us hostage. Think about that now. We're in our own land, but Esau is in control of the land. And not only is Esau in control of the land, but the serpent seeds. Oh, wait a minute, I'm going to get there. Y'all got to paint the picture. And Israel is in the midst of it all.
Let me ask a question.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to set the stage to this question.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't when the Romans came in to destroy the temple at that time, Esau, which was at that time it was Herod, went in there and set himself up as the king in Jerusalem. Then the Romans came. And took him out of there, and they set up in the kingdom. But then later on, they came and put Herod back in power. So my question here is that at one particular time, it was not the Romans per se that held us captive. It was Esau, you understand, And then the Romans oversee all of that, even though Esau was in power. Is that correct?
At some points, I think you're mixing some things because Herod came in and assumed the position of Jerusalem as the viceroy of Jerusalem or whatever in his time, and then the Messiah was born, and then he lived out his days. But while he was living in his day, the Romans were in charge, and then he's the one who prophesied that 70 A.D. was going to take place. That they were going to take over Jerusalem, and Jerusalem would be trodden down underfoot by the Gentiles. He's the one who spoke that prophecy because that hadn't happened until after he died. So you're kind of getting things mixed up, but the Romans were in charge when he was in Jerusalem at that time.
Well, they're Edom today.
And that was still Edom.
See?
All right, so we were being held as a ransom that he had to come and get us back from because of something that was happening in Jerusalem. Anybody else have a comment? Ernestine Jones said Esau is still holding us hostage. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. And Henry, I can't give your comment because that's a part of the presentation. I'm getting to it. Anybody else got a comment?
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Is Rome also Edom today?
Mm-hmm.
Or Esau? So Esau is Edom.
Esau is Edom and Rome is Edom. We're going to get to that because I'm going to go back through the lineage again.
Okay.
So that you understand that we're dealing with Esau. Now, the Gentiles are still the Gentiles because they're still a part of the European nation, but there are those that are ruling that are part of Edom. And they are mixed.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, here we go. So we got that part. So we know that he came. And I'm just going through a few scriptures today. So we're going to set the stage for this and understanding who these people were and how they were commingled with us. Sister Levia, whenever you're ready.
John chapter 8, verse 44 and 45. Ye are of your father. Ye are of your father the devil, and the lust of your father ye will do. He was a murderer from the beginning, and abode not in the truth, because there is no truth in him.
He said there's no truth in him. Now, who was he talking to when he said that?
The Pharisees and Sadducees.
He was talking to the Pharisees and the Sadducees. He said, you are of your father the devil. Watch what he said. Go ahead, Sister Levia.
When he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own, for he is a liar and the father of it.
He is a liar and the father of it. Now, somebody tell me what Revelation chapter 2, verse 9 says about that, about the Jews who say they are Jews but are not. They do lie, but they are of the what?
Synagogue of Satan.
They are the synagogue of Satan. All these people are the same people. All right, here we go. Go for it, Sister Levia.
I got a question.
Yes, sir.
Okay, you say Edom is the Romans. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, sir. He did mix with the Romans. Yes, sir.
Okay, question. Esau is a Shemite. He comes from the lineage of Noah.
Right.
And through Abraham.
Yes.
Through Isaac.
Yes, sir.
So he's Hebrew. He was a Shemite, Hebrew, but not an Israelite.
That's correct.
The Romans are the son of Japhet.
Well, we went through that, Brother Donnie, a couple of weeks ago where we talked about how Esau went into, how one of Esau's descendants went into Shittim and how they intermingled with them and they became, because there's not that many of them. When you look at Rome, which I was looking at today, Rome only has a population of 840-some people. And if they bring the people all from over to be priests or to be whatever, or to be altar boys or whatever they are to be, we're talking about the leaders.
Okay, but what I'm saying here is that is that Esau is not considered the leader of Rome, because Rome, you understand, that's the ruling class. The ruling class. Now, we can say that Esau went in and cohabitated with them, but they did not assume the ruling class.
Yes, they did.
How did they do that? Whether we talk about Rome and them today as the ruling class. We don't say Edom.
Let me tell you why. Because Esau's son became the king of Rome. Remember, we read all of that a couple of weeks ago. Now, I can go back over it for you eventually, but let me get through this first, and then I'll be able to take you back over that. I'm going to show you.
Let me make this point here. Because they put Joseph as a top man in Egypt, that didn't change who Egypt was. That didn't make Egypt Hebrew Israelites. They still remain to be Egypt.
And guess what? Rome is still Rome. It doesn't change the lineage, though. It changes the lineage of who they are. Rome never changed their name to Edom either. But it doesn't mean that the king didn't cohabitate and leave sons and sons' sons on the throne. And they mingled with the people that the leadership remained under the lineage of Esau.
All right. I relinquish.
We going there. Hold on. Just hold your horses. Hold on. All right, Sister Levia, whenever you're ready.
Matthew chapter 12, verse 34. He recognized them. O generation of vipers, how can ye, being evil, speak good things? For out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaketh.
So he said, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaketh. And he called them a generation of vipers. Why would he call them a generation of snakes?
That's what they were. Because they were the serpent seed.
They were of the serpent seed. He's talking to the Pharisees and the Sadducees. And when you understand the Gospels are about him being confronted by the serpent seed to try to trip him up as to who he was and what was the purpose of why he came. He recognized them. Okay? Go for it.
Verse 35, good or evil. A good man out of the good treasure of the heart bringeth forth good things, and an evil man out of the evil treasure bringeth forth evil things.
Evil things. He said there's a difference between good and evil. And see, a lot of people want to make it seem like there's a choice. Now, some people would say that good and evil is a choice. I would say that it is a choice. But I think it has a whole lot to do with genetics. Because a lot of us have a repentant heart. Look at David, for instance. Let me use David, for instance. David did some terrible stuff. He took the man's wife. He had children by this woman after he took this woman. You know, he did some terrible stuff. But that's what y'all said. He was a man after my own heart, because what did he do?
He repented.
He repented.
Yeah, asked for forgiveness. He did.
He asked for forgiveness. But what the Messiah is saying to these people is that there is truly a difference, because a good man out of the good treasures of the heart bringeth forth good things, and an evil man out of the evil treasures bringeth forth evil things. So there's definitely a difference. But what else does he say? What did he say, Sister Olivia?
Verse 36, every idle word. But I say unto you that every idle word that men shall speak, they shall give account thereof in the day of judgment.
Whoa! That's powerful. He said every idle word that you speak, you're going to give an account for.
Mm-hmm.
Learn how to be quiet, huh?
Mm-hmm.
But it's something I want to show you that's coming with this. And I want to show you this scripture right here. This is going to be the key right here. Hold on. Here we go. Whenever you're ready.
Matthew chapter 13, verse 34-35. He came to warn them. All these things spake Jesus, or Yeshua, unto the multitude in parables, and without a parable spake he not unto them.
Now watch what he says in this one right here.
Verse 35, since the foundation, that it might be fulfilled which was spoken by the prophet, saying, I will open my mouth in parables, I will utter things which have been kept secret from the foundation of the world.
Oh, what was kept a secret? What was kept a secret since the foundation of the world? Oh, everybody quiet today.
I was waiting for the answer.
What was kept secret since the foundation of the world? What did he come to do, or what did he come to tell you that have been kept secret since the foundation of the world?
Is it the heavenly things?
What was it? Somebody tell me what you think it is. What has been kept secret since the foundation of the world? Uh-oh. Somebody said the kingdom, salvation. Secrets if the kingdom. Nope, it ain't got nothing to do well and do and it don't. But what do you think? Somebody give me some examples. What do you think that he came to tell that's been kept secret since the foundation of the world?
Who the elect were.
Say what?
Who the elect were and who was not the elect. Who the enemy is.
Who the enemy is. Very good. Who the enemy is. Well, let's see. I'm getting ready to open up the screen so you guys can see it. And we're going to read it. Matthew chapter 13. Sister Lavia, you ready?
Matthew chapter 13. The same day that Yeshua.
Well, her phone is fading out real bad. I'll do it for you because your phone was fading just a little bit. It says, the same day went Yeshua out of the house and sat by the seaside. And the great multitudes were gathered together unto him, so that he went into a ship and sat. And the whole multitude stood on the shore. And he spake many things unto them in a parable, saying, Behold, a sower went forth to sow. And when he sowed, some seed fell by the wayside, and the fowls came and devoured them up. Some fell upon stony places, where they had not much earth, but forthwith they sprung up because they had no deepness of earth. When the sun was up, they were scorched, and because they had no root, they withered away. Some fell among thorns, and the thorns sprung up and choked them. But others fell into good ground and brought forth fruit, some 100-fold, some 60, and some 30-fold. Then he said, He who hath an ear, let him hear. And the disciples came and said unto him, Why speakest thou unto them in parables? And he answered and said unto them, Because it is given unto you to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven, but to them it is not given. For whosoever hath, to him shall be given, and he shall have more abundant. But whosoever hath not, from him shall be taken away, even that he hath. What did he mean by that? Disciples said, why are you speaking to them in riddles? We don't understand what the riddles is all about. Why are you speaking to them in riddles? And what does he say? He said, because it is given unto you to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven, but to them it is not given. For whosoever hath, to him shall it be given, and he shall have more abundant. But whosoever hath not, from him shall be taken away, even that he hath. What did he mean by that? What did you have to have that would give you access to the mysteries of heaven?
Knowledge, truth.
Some people say belief and faith, the Father. Let's see.
How about eternal life?
Oh, that's not what he's talking about. I'm gonna take you down a little further, and then you're gonna tell me. He said, therefore I speak to them in parable, because they seeing see not, and hearing they hear not, neither do they understand. And in them is fulfilled the prophecy of Isaiah, which say, by hearing ye shall hear, and shall not understand, and seeing ye shall see, and shall not perceive. For this people's heart is waxed gross, and their ears are dull of hearing, and their eyes they have closed, lest at any time they should see with their eyes, and hear with their ears, and should understand with their heart, and should be converted, and I should heal them. He said, but blessed are your eyes, for they see, and your ears, for they hear. For verily I say unto you that many prophets and righteous men have desired to see those things which ye see, and have not seen them, to hear those things which ye hear, and have not heard them. Do you know what he was saying?
Was he talking about?
Go ahead. Sound like to me he was revealing the truth on who he was or who he is.
Mm-hmm.
And he was saying that I can't tell them, quote unquote, the truth, because if I tell them the truth, I think it's in one of the scriptures they asked him, why are you speaking in parables to them? And he told them who they were. You know, he told them the truth. He said, I can't speak to them in truth. I got to speak to them in parables, lest they see and understand, and I got to save them.
Okay, that's a good point. Anybody else?
What about him coming to speak to the bloodline of the children of Israel to redeem?
There you go. You're on the right track now.
Okay.
He's speaking to a specific group of people, because you got to understand there's two groups of people standing there. There are those that he wants to hear it, and those who try to hear it and don't understand it. Why come they don't understand it? What is wrong with them that they can't see it?
Because
was it meant for them?
The enemy, the seed of the serpent.
They the seed of the serpent, and they just can't get it. And why come they can't get it? What's happening with that particular group of people that they just can't see it?
It's not meant for. It wasn't meant for them to see it.
Somebody said they do not have his spirit. Oh, you on the right track now. He's trying to let them know something, that something has been kept secret since the foundation of the earth, that there are, y'all coming on. You coming along. I got to show you this, because you got to be able to see this. He's talking to them in riddles because they won't understand it no way. Because they're not his.
Mm-hmm. Does it relate to when he says, my sheep hear my voice?
Yeah, you talking,
and
girl. Come on, that's right. Yes, ma'am. That's why he said, my sheep know my voice. Wait, we're going to get there. We got to go through this. Somebody please put your phone on mute. It's kind of loud. I don't know whose it is. But watch, here we go. He says, blessed are your eyes, verse 16, for they see, and your ears, for they hear. He said, for verily I say unto you that many prophets and righteous men have desired to see those things which ye see, and have not seen them, to hear those things which ye hear, and not heard them. And he said, hear ye therefore the parable of the sower. When anyone heareth the word of the kingdom, and understand it not, then cometh the wicked one, and catch away that which was sown in his heart. This is he which received the seed by the wayside. But he that received the seed into stony places, the same is he that heareth the word, and anon with joy receive it. Yet hath he not root in himself, but endures for a while. For when tribulation or persecution arises because of the word, by and by he is offended. Do you know how many Israelites I have met that's mad at y'all because their lifestyle has changed? They've lost their job, they've lost their stuff, and they're upset with the Most High because they had to go through a period of persecution because of this thing right here, and they mad? They're truly offended. And walk away. Do you know how many people that are on this line, some people that I have known that are in our classes that have great wealth, but I don't believe they're going to make it because of that wealth that they have because they just can't leave it?
Oh.
Watch what he say. He said, he also received seed among thorns is he that heareth the word, and the care of this world and the deceitfulness of riches choke the word, and he becometh unfruitful. He said, but he that receives seed in the good ground is he that heareth the word and understand it, which also bear fruit and bringeth forth, some 100, some 60, some 30. Now watch what he said. Now this is very important. I want you to watch. He said, another parable he put forth unto them, saying, the kingdom of heaven is like unto a man which soweth good seed in his field. But while he slept, his enemy came and sowed tares among the wheat and went his way. And when the blades were sprung up and brought forth fruit, then appeared the tares also. So the servant of the householder came and said unto him, Sir, why didst not thou sow good seed in thy field? From whence then hath it tares? And he said unto them, an enemy has done this. The servant said unto him, wilt thou then that we go and gather them up? But he said, nah, lest while ye gather up the tares, ye root also up the wheat with them. He said, but let both grow together until the harvest. And in the time of the harvest, I will say to the reaper, gather ye together first the tares, and bind them in a bundle to burn them, but gather the wheat into my barn. That's what he say. He said, another parable he put forth unto them, saying, the kingdom of heaven is like to a grain of mustard seed, which a man took and sowed in his field, which indeed is the least of all the seeds. But when it is grown, it is the greatest among herbs, and becometh a tree, so that the birds of the air come and lodge in the branches thereof. Another parable spoke he unto them. The kingdom of heaven is like unto leaven, which a woman took and hid in 3 measures of meal, till the whole was leavened. All these things spake Yahushua unto the multitude in parable, and without a parable spake he not unto them, that it might be fulfilled which was spoken by the prophet, saying, I open my mouth in parable, I will utter things which have been kept secret from the foundation of the world. Now watch what he say. So something has been kept secret since the foundation of the world. Then Yahushua sent the multitude away and went into the house. And his disciples came unto him, saying, declare unto us the parable of the tares of the field. He said, tell us the story of the riddle. And he answered and said unto him, he that soweth the good seed is the Son of Man. Now watch what he said. He said, the field is the world. The good seed are the children of the kingdom. But the tares are the children of the wicked one. The enemy that sowed them is the devil, and the harvest is the end of the world, and the reapers are the angels. As therefore the tares are gathered and burned in the fire, so shall it be in the end of this world. The Son of Man shall send forth his angels, and they shall gather out of his kingdom all things that offend, and them which do iniquity. He said, and cast them into a furnace of fire, and there shall be wailing and gnashing of teeth. Anybody want to comment? What does that mean?
Like I said, it can't get no simpler than that.
What does that mean? I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Rather gruesome.
So there means, guess what? In the field, we got 2 sets of groups of people, don't we? We got those that are his, and we got a mingled bloodline. No, we got a mingled seed line, don't we?
Wow.
I'm talking about Israel. I'm not talking about the world. I'm not talking about the Illuminati. I'm talking about Israel. There's something that was going on, he said, which has been kept secret since the foundation of the world.
Yeah, because he said that the enemy was sowing the tares, so the enemy had those seeds. That's what he didn't say that anybody else had those tares. The enemy came along, so you'd have to go back and find out who the enemy is. Well, we know who that is.
We know who that is, don't we?
Same
bloodline, two different sets of people. Same bloodline, two different sets of people.
And that goes back to the garden when the prophecy was given to Eve that the seed of the serpent. It talks about the seed of the serpent way back in Genesis. It talks about the seed of the serpent will bruise her seed's heel, and her seed will bruise his head.
Yes, ma'am. And seed means what? Children, don't it? Offspring. People, offspring,
exactly.
Children. So we go back up here to 38. He said, the field is the world. The good offspring are the children of the kingdom, but the tares are the children of the wicked ones. So what we've been taught in Christianity is that being wicked is a choice that you choose to serve Satan. No. This is in their bloodline. They can't help it.
Because the angels and the reapers were in the parable were the angels questioning the master. So they're ready they were ready to reap it at any point, but he said no, just reap it at the end.
And wait to the end. He said because guess what? You can't look at them and tell the difference.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. You know the scripture says, and all Israel will be saved? And would that have anything to do with the fact that people can't control beasts sometimes because they have that seed in them?
Right, and guess what? I'm going to get to that. I'm glad you said that. Because
I am too.
I'm glad you said that. I'm so glad you said that. But guess what? You can't tell them by looking at them because everybody looks alike. You can't tell them by the fact that they're Israel because they are Israel. They have the bloodline in them. But those that are of the evil one, those children are the ones that the angels, only the angelic beings are going to be able to tell the difference. And they're going to do the separating. Can you imagine we all standing? He said, you go over there, you go over there. You go over here, you go over here.
I think the angels will do the separating, but there's also scripture that says by their fruit you will know them.
There you go. I was coming to that too. I was just reading the chat line. I was coming to that too. That you will know them by their fruit. So that answers Cynthia's question about those that have it, that we will know them by their fruit. So if your fruits are pure, then you're going to make it. Selah said, what did Selah say? She said, this makes all the sense in the world. A.B. said, that explains why some of our people are so wicked. And it just leaves us shocked at their actions. Now we know why. It's their bloodline. Some people just won't stop it. But guess what? They stand behind the premise that we Israel. We Israel. Y'all going to come and get us. He is. He is. We all going to the same location if we all make it at the same time. But, buddy, it's going to be a separating when we get there.
Yeah.
Something was, I kept saying, what has been kept secret since the foundation of the world? All right, Sister Levia, go for it. Can you hear me? Can we hear you now?
Can you hear me okay?
Yes, ma'am. Now I can. You coming through nice and loud.
Okay, Matthew chapter 23, verse 23 through 25, and verse 27. The teacher of Israel. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for ye pay tithes of mint and anise and cumin, and have omitted the ways matters of the law, judgment, mercy, and faith. These ought ye to have done, and not to leave the other undone.
Not to leave the other undone. What else do he say?
Blind guides, verse 24. Ye blind guides which strain at a gnat and swallow a camel.
Go, boy.
Verse 25. You look the part. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for ye make clean the outside of the cup and of the platter, but within they are full of extortion and excess.
Don't we look the part? Don't
yep.
we? Look the part, man. We have on them ZZs, and we had the fringes around our clothes and that mitre across our, oh, we look the part. But some of you all, even on this line, that told me some horror stories of some of these camps and some of the things that you have experienced within Israel. That they left you with your head scratching like, this can't be right. These can't be the people. Something is wrong up in here. Some of you have gone through some things. This very thing that I'm talking about is the reason why you're sitting on this call right here today. That you have done some investigations of some of the stuff that's going on in our nation among our people, and it just left you dumbfounded with your mouth hung open like, this is unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
How many have come on our radio show and said, man, you wouldn't believe what they're doing?
All the time.
Huh? What they say, they smoking crack. Some of them is pedophiles, and some of them is they doing all kind of debauchery. Some of them is homosexual. Some of them is lesbian. It's unbelievable. No, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? It's this. It ain't hard to believe. It's this. He said, you got the outside looking right. He said, for you make clean the outside of the cup and of the platter, but within they're full of extortion and excess. It's this right here.
Right.
It's what it is. Watch what he say. Go for it, Sister LaVia.
Verse 27, dead men's bones. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for ye are like unto whited sculptures, which indeed appear beautiful outward, but are within full of dead men's bones and all uncleanness.
Do that sum it up pretty much for y'all? For some of you all that's seen some things.
Yep.
I mean, seriously. Be like, that's it. Yep. That's what he was telling them. He was trying to come and tell them, like, look, we see you. We know who you are for real. You can't hide from us. You know? We already know what you're doing. You got the outside looking real good. You look the part. Ain't that how it is in church, too?
I was going to say that sounds so much like religion.
Yes. Man, they have them capes on and strut through there with that Bible, and you think it's God until they start telling the stories about how they live their life. He told them. He said, woe unto you, bunch of hypocrites. Watch. All right, here we go. Now, let me set the stage for this. In this particular scripture, they were having a conversation with him because most of the Gospels are them trying to trip him up. He spent more time with them as they walk around following him, watching what he's doing, trying to trip him up.
Right.
Matter of fact, let me do this. So we don't have to do all that. Just give me 1 second. We're going to do this. And basically, he's having a conversation with them like, no. I know who you are. I see you. I know what you're about. I've watched what you're doing. And guess what? We came to set the record straight because we got to let our people know that you're not really one of them. You're not one of us for real. Don't get caught up with the way it look. I remember when I was doing prison ministry, you know, the chaplain with them, we would all go in there. Well, of course, we were ladies. We had some men with us. But we go into the prisons, and the chaplain be like, you know, the men they be trying to flex in front of us, walking around with their muscles showing and stuff. And he used to tell us all the time, don't get bent out of shape over these muscles up in here. Don't let that fool you. He said, because these guys up in here is homosexuals. He said, don't get bent out of shape over the muscles. He said, because these men like men. And I'll be like, for real? He said, yeah, don't let all this stuff mean don't do it. In other words, we got some thug homosexuals up here. They thugs, but they like men. I'm like, man. Real talk. And that's what Yahushua was trying to tell them. Like, oh no. Let me go down here so we can catch this up, because they were having he would always call them hypocrites. Here we go. So we'll start at 13. Can you see that, Sister Lavia? I can make it bigger for you if you need to be able to see that. I can make it just a wee bit bigger. Can you see it?
What is it, Matthew 23?
Yeah, we're in 23, yeah. Watch how
okay, Matthew chapter 23, verse 13. But woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for ye shut up the kingdom of heaven against men. For ye neither go in yourselves, neither suffer ye them that are entering to go in.
He said, you trying to block everybody from getting the Yah. Go for it. What did he say in 14?
Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for ye devour widows' houses, and for a pretense make long prayer. Therefore ye shall receive a greater damnation. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for ye compass sea and land to make one proselyte. And when he is made, he makes them twofold, more the child of hell than yourselves.
He said, you make him worse off than he was when he started. Watch what he said.
Woe unto you, ye blind guides, which say, whosoever shall swear by the temple, it is nothing, but whosoever shall swear by the gold of the temple, he is a debtor.
Go for it.
Ye fools and blind, for whether is greater the gold or the temple, which sanctifies the gold. And whosoever shall swear by the altar, it is nothing, but whosoever swears by the gift that is upon it, he is guilty.
All right, watch it now. We're going to go down here to 23, and we just read that one. Now watch what he says about him in 30. Watch what he said. Wait a minute, we're going to go up here. Okay, so go with 28.
Even so ye also outwardly appear righteous unto men, but within ye are full of hypocrisy and iniquity.
Hypocrisy and iniquity,
Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, because ye build the tombs of the prophets and garnish the sculptures of the righteousness. And say, if we had been in the days of our father, we would not have been partakers with them in the blood of the prophets. Wherefore ye be witnesses.
Now? Watch what he said. He said, what did you say now? Read that again.
If we had been in the days of our fathers, we would have not been partakers with them in the blood of the prophets.
He said, if we was, haven't we said that in our classes, boy, if we was back in them days, we wouldn't have did all that stuff. I don't understand how they did that. Watch what he said. Watch what he said in 31.
Wherefore ye be witness unto yourselves that ye are the children of them which killed the prophets.
He said, you the offspring of them that killed the prophets.
Fill ye up them
that did it.
He
told me, so who you think you taught? We see you. We know who you are. We know you the serpent seed. You're the ones who killed the prophets. You the children of those that killed the prophets. Watch what he say, verse 32.
One question?
Yes, sir.
He said prophets. Is it more than one?
Mass, and I'll show you. It's much. We got Jeremiah, Daniel, Ezekiel, Isaiah, Hosea. It's a whole lot of them.
They were killed?
Yes. A lot of them were murdered. Isaiah was tied to a tree. They cut him in half.
Oh, wow.
talking about Lucifer, son. That's why we trying to get this information out here so that we're not deceived, because a lot of this is going to be among our own people. A lot of the stuff that we're going to have to battle is going to be within our own group. Because usually we can see the outsiders coming. You know a white man don't belong, but when you see a brother coming in and he say he's one of us, and he's a descendant of the slave trade, you're going to have to be able to see the fruit. And this is exactly what the Messiah was doing. He was calling out the fruit.
Okay, I got a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'm sorry, I'm new. I'm Elizabeth. I listened to your recordings earlier, so I just decided to hop on the line here. But what does it mean when it says, if we had been in the days of our fathers?
He was talking to the disciples. To the Pharisees and the Sadducees, and they were saying, he was talking about the death of the prophets, and he said, if we had been. He says, woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, you hypocrites, because ye build the tombs of the prophets and garnish the sculptures of the righteous, and say, if we had been in the days of our fathers, back a long time ago, we would have not been partakers with them in the blood of the prophets. We wouldn't have had nothing to do with the killing of them.
Well, how are the Satan's seed, weren't they back in the day of the prophet as well?
That was their fathers. That's what he just said. He said, wherefore ye be witness unto yourself. He said, take this into account, that ye are the children of them that killed the prophet.
They've always existed. That's what he's saying.
They've always existed.
Okay. So they existed before Israel, then, what you're saying, right?
They've always existed with Israel.
Okay, then why?
They're a part of our nation. Ma'am, I'm gonna get to it. Just hold on. I'm gonna clear up all your questions in just a minute. I'm gonna show you how and what happened in just 1 second. I promise.
Okay.
All right, verse number 32, Lavia.
Fill ye up then the measure of your fathers. Ye serpents, ye generation of vipers, how can ye escape the damnation of hell?
Oh, he called them snakes, didn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Didn't he call them serpents?
And he calling them out right, too. He calling them out like, you serpents, you generation of vipers. He calling them out. He's talking about the seed. Because they had intermingled themselves into Israel. They were creating a doctrine that didn't have anything to do with Yah. They were bringing in all kind of falseness and trying to make it impossible for the Israelites, the pure-blooded Israelites, to do what they needed to do. And he came on the scene and called them out.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I have a quick question, just a quick one, because I'm listening, and I'm wondering, was the Talmud in existence back then?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am, it was. The Talmud came in existence when they walked out of Babylon. Yes, ma'am.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
Makes
ma'am.
Perfect sense then. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. It made the light bulb went on. I said, "Oh my goodness!" All right, go for it, Sister Olivia, verse 34.
Wherefore, behold, I send unto you prophets and wise men and scribes, and some of them ye shall kill and crucify, and some of them ye shall scourge in your synagogues, and persecute them from city to city.
Now watch what he say in 35.
That upon you may come all the righteous blood shed upon the earth, and from the blood of the righteous Abel unto the blood of Zachariah, son of Barachias, whom ye slew between the temple and the altar. Verily I say unto you, all these things shall come upon this generation.
Oh, watch it. He said, I verily, verily, I say unto you that all these things shall come upon this generation. He said, you finna get yours.
Mm-hmm.
So guess what? Think it not strange when we went into captivity that some of them was ate up by alligators, that some of them was threw out the side of the ship and the sharks ate them up.
Right.
Woo! I said, this is too much right here. Boy. But was they Israelites? Yes, they were. And I used to be like, dang, y'all, why did you have to do them like that? I don't understand. But guess what? He knew what he was doing. Because when he judges righteous.
I have a question. So some of the serpent seed still survived, and they're still among us.
Yes, ma'am. We getting ready to get to that. We getting ready to get to that right now. Sister Levia.
A different kind, same blood. Yeshua was identifying the Pharisees and their kind as an evolution entirely apart from the children of Yah through Adam and Seth.
Through Adam and Seth. Go for it.
Their descendants. One which through intermarriage and eventually embodied in any or all races, retaining the characteristics of the proud and lustful, murderers and slanderers, fallen angels from which they descended.
They had the DNA of the fallen angels, didn't they?
Yep.
One more point we got to make about that. Here we go. Watch what it says.
Be found in 1 John chapter 3, verse 12, son of Lucifer. Not as Cain, who was of that wicked one, and slew his brother. And wherefore slew he him? Because his own works were evil, and his brother's righteous.
Oh, they say he was of that wicked one. How do you be of the wicked one?
He got to be part of that bloodline.
He got to be a seed, didn't he? He had to be a seed, didn't he?
Yep.
All right, here we go. Watch what it say.
Two seeds, same lineage. Throughout the Bible, it records the two seed lines, Yah's and Lucifer's.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's what it's all about. Well, that's what it's all about. The two seeds, the same lineage. Watch, here we go. What happened? Watch what happened.
Grandson of Abraham. Esau and Jacob were grandsons of Abraham's, were twin brothers, presumably born with the same bloodline.
Okay.
Unlawful union. However, Esau married two Canaanite women in violation of Yah's law. In doing this, Esau's line became contaminated because among the Canaanites, who were the progenitor of Satan and the fallen angels, the evil bloodline thrived.
Uh-oh, watch what happened.
They moved to Mount Seir. Esau and his two Canaanite wives moved down to Mount Seir, a rugged mountain range southeast of the Dead Sea.
Mm-hmm.
Among the Anakims. This is where the Anakim people were said to live. Among the people who had the bloodline of the fallen angels were the Horites.
Horites. Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. The Horims. They were the cave dwellers, also known as the Horim, who were the seed of the Anakim.
And the Anakims were who? Somebody tell me who the Anakims were.
Giants. They were giants.
Giants. Them was the serpent. That was the fallen seed of the fallen angels. Them was the giants. So Esau went into, he brought that into his own lineage. Watch what happened.
Joshua chapter 9. The Horites tricked Joshua. The inhabitants of the land worked deceitfully as they disguised themselves as ambassadors from afar. They took old sacks upon their asses and wine bottles, old and rent and bound up.
Mm-hmm.
And the old shoes and clouded upon their feet, and old garments upon them, and all the bread of their provision was dry and moldy.
Mm-hmm.
And they went to Joshua unto the camp of Gilgal, and said unto him and to the men of Israel, We be come from a far country. Now therefore make a league with us.
He said, make a league with us. So guess what? All of that has to do. What happened with that? What did Joshua do? Somebody tell me what he did. Do you know what he did?
He made a covenant with him.
He made a what?
He made a covenant with them.
What was the covenant?
He didn't kill
weren't they supposed to be water bearers or something like that?
Yes, my sister is on it. Yes, they were supposed to be water bearers. Water bearers to what? Do you remember what they were going to be water bearers to?
Oh, now you got me.
Oh, we're going to see what they was going to be water bearers to, because this was going to come back to bite him. This was definitely getting ready to come back to bite him. All right, sister, go for it, Sister Olivia. Here we go.
Genesis chapter 36, verse 20 to 30. Esau's descendants. Listed are all the various chieftains among the family of Seir, the Horite satanic line, including his daughter Timnah.
All right.
The concubine. Timnah was a concubine to Esau's son Eliphaz and bore him a son, Amalek. That's found in Genesis.
Amalek. Who is Amalek? Where did he come from?
Amalek is a giant as well.
He was a giant. He was from the Amalekites, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Right.
Yes, he was. You see how it all coming together? We getting ready to blend. Keep on. Go for it, Sister Olivia.
Referencing Exodus chapter 17, verse 8 through 16, and Numbers chapter 20, verse 14 through 21. The Amalekites. Amalek and his tribe of Amalekites is damning indeed and depicts them behaving entirely according to their satanic bloodline.
Satanic bloodline. Yes, ma'am. Guess what? Here we go.
The deliberate infiltration. What better way do you infiltrate when you don't know who you are?
So guess what? They infiltrated us. Somebody tell me how they was able to come unto us. What did we do that we were able to bring them unto us? Because we disobeyed Yah in a way that they were able to mingle themselves among us. Who? Give me a name of a king who did it. Just one.
Well, it was Judah who did it.
Judah did it. He did. Judah did do it. But it was a king in particular who did that. Who did that? Solomon. Solomon gave birth to Hebrew Israelites that was mingled with the serpent seed. He brought them into the royal house of King David. Yep. Joshua allowed the Horites to come in among us and live among us and made them water bearers.
Right.
They didn't kill off all the Canaanites like they were supposed to. The Canaanites was allowed to live among us. Go for it, Sister Olivia.
The infiltration. The adversary's actual children are literally living to this day among the true Israelite people around the world with the bloodline of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
They got it. And guess what? You can't tell them they're not Israel, because are they Israel? Yes. I'm a see why I said now it all makes sense.
What it does.
You hear me? They got it. Makes sense now, don't it?
So they have
Say again, Jay.
So they have.
I can't hear you.
Do they have the kingdom, or will they get cleansed out?
No, they ain't gonna be cleansed, because guess what? They ain't gonna know how to act. The ones that's doing evil gonna continue to do evil. That's what the Messiah told them. He said, "You don't know how to do evil. You are just like your father, the devil, and there is nothing." He was a murderer from the beginning and a liar, and that's what you are.
Right.
Ooh. And you know it's like at the same time he's saying, if you help people,
say that again. We can't hear you, Sister Olivia. You fade now. What'd you say? We can't hear you at all. I don't know where she is. She just figured it out. Okay, let me see. All right, so we're going to go in here. I think she got a call back. Yeah, she might have to call back. Solomon's porch. And Yahweh walked in the temple in Solomon's porch. This is John chapter 10, verse 23. Watch what it says. And they said, are you the Messiah? Now they want him to give them absolute. Then came the Israelites round about him and said unto them, how long do thou make us doubt? If thou be the Christ, tell us plainly. Are you the Messiah? That's what he said. Abishai answered them, I told you and you believe me not. The works that I do in my Father's name, they bear witness of me. That's what they said. He said, you are not my sheep. Believe ye not, because ye are not of my sheep, as I said unto you. Oh, he making a separation. Watch. What did he say? He said, my sheep hear my voice, and I know them, and they follow me.
Right.
Now watch, we got another Old Testament experience where they actually came in and mingled in another Old Testament experience. Watch this one. Sister Levia, can you see that? Is she still with us? Okay, I'm going to do it. Ezra's experience. At the time of Ezra, when he and the Israelites received permission to return to Israel and rebuild Jerusalem, Ezra stopped on their journey count of the tribes. He stopped to take account. He said, watch, he said, there are Horites and Pharisees. We're talking about Ezra chapter 8. He counted many priests, but not one of them was a Levitical priest, which is said to be of the tribe of Levi. Instead, they were all Nephilims, which are temple servants. Watch. Impostors of the Levites, whom David and the princes had appointed for the service of the Levites. Yes, those same ones Joshua brought into the temple as servants to do the work of the Levitical priests. They had eased their way in and was trying to imitate the Levitical priesthood.
Wow.
Remember?
Wow.
Mistake. Remember, Joshua would make that another mistake by not consulting Yah first. He would state the deceivers are now cursed and would forever be servants of Israel, serving as bondmen, servers of water and hewers of wood in the very temple of Yah.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
Aren't they there today?
Yep.
Isn't history repeating itself?
Yep.
Yes. Yes.
In the church?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
They standing up in the church, speaking in tongues.
Yes.
And everybody looking like something is wrong. You better bet you it is. This thing is happening all over again. You better bet you it is. Because Joshua didn't take them out. He made a league with them, and they came in. Ezra said, now, wait a minute, hold on. He said, wait a minute. Something is wrong. These ain't the Levites.
You're right.
It says, still in position today, little known to Joshua, this curse will be upon the Israelites, and it will remain with them from that day forward. Now watch this. Here we go. This is Jeremiah chapter 24, verse we almost finished. No, it's been a long day. We almost done. Jeremiah chapter 24, 2 baskets of figs. Watch. The Lord showed me, and behold, 2 baskets of figs, which were set before the temple of the Lord, after that Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, had carried away captive Jeconiah, the son of Jehoiakim, king of Judah, and the princes of Judah, with the carpenters and smiths from Jerusalem, and had brought them to Babylon. Watch what happens. Some good, some bad. He said one basket had very good figs, even like the figs that are first ripe. And the other basket had very naughty figs, which could not be eaten. They were so bad. What do you see? Then said Yah unto me, what seest thou, Jeremiah? And I said, figs, the good figs, very good, and the evil, very evil, that cannot be eaten. They are so evil. In the word of Yah. Again, the word of Yah came unto me, saying, carried away for the good. Thus saith Yah, the Elohim of Israel, like these good figs, so will I acknowledge them that are carried away, captive of Judah, whom I have sent out of this place into the land of the Chaldeans for their good. For I will protect the good ones. One moment. He said, for I will set my eyes upon them for good, and I will bring them again to this land, and I will build them and not pull them down, and I will plant them and not pluck them up. He said, they shall be my people, and I will give them a heart to know me, that I am the Elohim. And they shall be my people, and I will be their Elohim, for they shall return unto me with their whole heart.
Hallelujah.
Watch what he say. Anybody have a comment?
Yeah.
He said the evil ones. And as the evil figs, which cannot be eaten, they are so evil, surely thus saith Yah. So will I give Zedekiah, the king of Judah, and his princes, and the residue of Jerusalem that remain in the land, and them that dwell in the land of Egypt, removed into all kingdoms. And I will deliver them to be removed into all the kingdoms of the earth for their hurt, to be a reproach, to be a proverb, a taunt, a curse, in all the places whither I have driven them. He said, sword, famine, and pestilence. And I will send the sword and the famine and the pestilence among them till they be consumed from off the land that I gave unto them and to their fathers. Now, can you now understand why? Some of the stuff that happened to our ancestors, some of them generations was completely cut off. They'll never exist anymore.
Right.
The fact that we sitting here today talking is a miracle.
Right.
It sure is.
Mm-hmm.
Because you know what he said? I'm going to make sure they don't. He said, you will never see it again. Some of them people was ate up on the way to the Americas.
Mm-hmm.
They was threw over the ships alive. Some of the babies was fed to the alligators. You know, and Yah is perfect in his execution because he knows those that are his. And then some people will say, well, how did they get back in here again? You tell me, how many times have our men mingled and married other women from other nations?
Right.
Absolutely. Wow.
It's a big drive for that right now among American black men to go to other nations.
Yeah.
It's a big drive.
It is. Woo.
It's a big hatred. It's a big enmity between black men and black women.
Right.
It really
No other nation has that.
Nope, sure don't.
Nobody else has that. It's just us. It's just us. I mean, I'm talking about for real hatred. As a black man, I've heard it directly. I've heard people say, I ain't never dating a black woman. I'm telling you, straight up. They will never have anything to do with a black woman, for real.
Wow.
Ain't that crucial? Isn't that crucial?
Mm-hmm.
And why is it? It's to contaminate the seed.
What's that guy's name that plays in the dark-skinned actor that plays
Wesley
in
Snipes.
Fast and Furious?
Is it Wesley Snipes?
Oh,
No,
you're talking about Tyrese.
There's one guy that said it, but the guy in that plays in Fast and Furious.
Oh yeah, he said Tyrese Gibson. Tyrese Gibson, yeah, that's Tyrese.
Yeah, he said, man, the only dark-skinned woman is beautiful in the dark.
That's terrible. He ought to be shaming himself. But guess what? Serpent seeds. Them is serpent seeds. And I used to get so upset when I seen the brothers marrying the white women in Hollywood and the ball players marrying the different women of the different. I used to get so upset. But when I knew this, and I knew that they're really marrying their own kind.
Right.
You know
and Yaina, one of my good friends met Tyrese personally, and she said he was the nastiest thing you ever want to talk to. She said not nasty as in vulgar language. She said he was so arrogant, nobody wanted to deal with him. Like, she said he was nasty, arrogant. She was like, ugh. That was a big turnoff to actually finally get to meet him and see who he really was. She said it was a turnoff. The fantasy of not knowing nothing about him and just seeing him on TV was much better.
That's crucial. But we got to understand that, and we can wrap this up because this is going to take us to the end. I just want everybody to, know that, when we see these kind of things and we know what we're getting ready to be up against, we just have to do what it is that we have to do and make sure, that we educate ourselves, because knowing is half the battle.
Right.
Because I used to get so upset. I'd be like, oh, my God, I don't understand why they doing this. Why come they just won't marry women of their own kind? Why do they get rich and then go marry other women from different different backgrounds? Guess what? Because they serpent seeds. Now, I put a few pictures in here I want to show y'all, because I've been wanting to show you this for a minute. Some of the hand signs that you can always tell that they've made their allegiance. This is definitely one of them with the pyramid and stuff. But this is one brother that I really see do it a lot. What's his name? He's a basketball player.
LeBron,
yeah. When he get ready to do his little thing, he throw his little 666 things up and make his pyramid and do his little thing and run out on the stage. Alliance, it don't matter what color they are. But see, we look at them and be like, oh, they just don't know no better. Yes, they do. That's another signal. If you watch TV, you'll notice it. They do it all the time. Hold on. I was listening to John P. Key sing this song, and before he got started, he stepped out and he did the 6 sign, and then he put his hand down. He brought it back up and did the 6 sign again, put it back down and brought it back up and did the 6 sign again, and then went singing.
Oh, no, Denzel.
No, not Denzel.
Right.
Denzel? Denzel? No.
Right.
I'm sorry to tell y'all, ladies. I'm just so sorry.
Look, Drake got his up. No. That's terrible.
Well, Drake is an Ashkenazi now. His father is an Ashkenazi. His mother is the little white Jew lady. His daddy black.
Right.
Yeah, it's his mother that's the Jew.
Maybe I had it wrong. Okay, his mother is. Okay, I'll take that because
I know my guys now, but dang.
But I was looking at, someone sent me a video last night. A friend of mine in Atlanta sent me a video last night, and it was talking about the movie Coming to America. And I was like, I don't want to see this. I don't know what they're talking, whatever. But I watched it anyway. And it showed that even back in the 80s, in the early 80s, that, what's his name? Brother just died. Charlie Murphy brother. Eddie Murphy.
Oh, Eddie,
would always show the 666 sign.
Yes,
and he even did it when he was on Saturday Night Live, when he used to play buckwheat and go, okay. He would hold up the 666, and I was like, oh, my goodness. I've been watching this for years and just didn't notice it.
Yes, ma'am. All this is there. I mean, this is what they do. I can get countless. I watch them on TV. I watch them on the news. I watch them on CNN. I watch them on the music industry, on the movies. They all do it. This is that we can get to that point. Let's get to this point here. All right, Sister, I'll just do it, Sister Levere, because I don't know if we can hear you or not. It said the mingled seed, the real Jews of Yahushua day had absorbed those with contaminated Kenite and Edomite hybrid blood, and therefore these could claim both Abraham and Isaac as their father. Contaminated DNA. Over the past thousands of years, contaminated DNA has engulfed mankind in all their genealogical lines. Let's see what we got. They dominate the earth. The serpent seed dominates earth through its offsprings and technology that controls whole governments and militaries. Offsprings of the fallen. Today, as in the past, Satan's seed and the offsprings of the fallen angels, such as the Anunnakis, dominate our world. Mm-hmm. All world systems. The evil seed dominates banking, economics, politics, military, entertainment, fashion, music, and yes, even religion. He called them out. Yahushua directly called the imposters Israelite children of the devil and Cain, who was the first documented murderer. He said, Yah is greater than me. He said, I've heard now. I say unto you, I go away and come again to you. Even if ye love me, ye would rejoice, because I say I go unto the Father, for my Father is greater than I. I told you and showed you, and now I have told you before it come to pass, that when it comes to pass, ye might believe. We got to make sure we understand what's going on, because he has given us all the tools that we need so that we know what we're dealing with. He came to call them out. He came to give us some information and to call them out and to let them know that it's two seeds that's going on. That's the secret that's been going on since the foundation of the world. That they didn't know. That they really were being held ransom by all of the serpent seed, just like we are today. You know what I'm saying? They just can't take us out because y'all won't allow them to. It's only a small percentage of them that are really running things, and I don't want you guys to think that it's a whole big old world of them, because it's not. Because if you look at this slide, it says there's only 2%. They're 2% of the world's population, yet they wield the greatest power and influence over the world's economy, politics, religion, and education systems. Let's see what else. We got 2 more slides. It says the opposite. As we have learned, they wield this great force not because they are chosen by our Yah, but they are exactly the opposite. It says the New World Order. They wield this great force as they are making the way for the prince of this world, who is about to be crowned king, their father, the devil. He can come on the scene.
Yeah, Yahushua's message was strong.
It was. I mean, he was trying to let them know. He was letting them know he knew who they were, but also he was letting the disciples know and all the people that were around him that listened who they were. And guess what? Today's day, when we see them today, just because we have everybody waking up, everybody's under this, oh, we so happy we Israel, oh, kumbaya. And then everybody comes on the class and be like, I don't understand what's wrong with them. I was so happy when I found out. And then I ran into that group, and it was like, oh, my goodness. Same scenario, just different time. Same setup, just different people.
You know, I sent you that picture, Sister Yaina, about the wheat and the tares. You can't tell until the very end at harvest when the wheat is bowed over, but the tare is still sticking straight up. That's the only time that you can really get to, like, okay, that's the difference. So it's like throughout all of the maturity, you can't tell until the reapers can tell at the end.
And guess what? You know what, brother? They know the word. They teaching on YouTube. I mean, they can study. They got it down pat. And
their growth has choked out some of the good wheat at some point.
Yes, it has. Some people
if you look at it from an agricultural standpoint.
Yes, sir. Even from a regular standpoint, guess what? Some of these people have gotten so sick and tired and they got hooked up in these groups, and they just done left. They like, I'm going back to church. I'm not even getting ready to do this. I ain't dealing with all this. Yeah.
Wow. But all that brings the story together, though. It does make sense when you understand the dynamics of the Old Testament and the New Testament, because to hear people talk, they make it sound like, oh, it's separate, and that was added later, and one don't have anything to do with the other, but it really has everything to do with the other.
Right. Because he could see him. He knew him. He said, I know you. I see what you're doing. He knew exactly what it was and who he was dealing with. Just like we have the power, we don't have the power to see them, but we can tell them by their fruit. That's why the Bible says, judge the fruit. See what they about. You know, because these people got 15 and 20 wives just because they can. They got threesomes going on, all kind of stuff jumping off. Sodomizing each other. They sodomizing each other and their wives. Pedophile. You just have no idea the stories that we got from the sister that was within our means in them group. How many children have been molested among the group over there?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Blew back like, what happened? Did
Right.
you do something? Nobody did anything about it because they was there illegally, so they didn't want to pull any attention to themselves. And those people, those pedophiles, are still walking around free. And those children have grown up with that stigma on them.
Another children.
And you be like, how in the world? But now we know why. Because they're doing the things that are of their fathers. Like he said, you were of your father, the devil. He was a murderer and a liar. And all. They doing what they do naturally. It comes natural. But guess what? I heard that some of them was the teachers of the schools that the kids went to. And when we first became really into it, my son was like, we got to move to Israel.
Yeah,
we got to go to Israel. And then everybody was like, no. And then a couple of years later, all that came out. And do you know that some of the Israelite brothers got mad at me because she came on the show and exposed all of that?
Yeah, I remember.
They got upset. You shouldn't have did that. I said I didn't do anything, but I wasn't going to stop her from talking. You shouldn't have let her do that. She shouldn't have been able to do that and tear that down like that and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, you're not offended?
And that's just the light version because she told more than that.
Yes, she did. Off the books. Yes, she did. But guess what? Not that it's just going on in Israel. It's going on in the church, too.
Right.
So what's ironic about that is that, I brought that to the forefront, for us to take it. Because I had seen her video, and she was talking about the pedophilia. But after that, you understand, Abraham, Ambassador Abraham had to go to Israel to get the real lowdown. You understand? Because you understand, they didn't believe what she had said because I had brought her to the program for her to voice those things. You understand? And so Abraham, Ambassador Abraham, with the United Nations of Yisrael, you understand, he went to Israel to get the lowdown. You understand, which he never did, or he never conveyed what he had found out, you understand? But like you said, that they had not done anything about that, you understand? As a matter of fact, they swept it under the rug by Nasi Asiel. He said, I didn't know what was going on. Nobody told me nothing. He's a head man in that organization that went to Jerusalem. And he tell everybody he didn't know nothing about it. So you can't, like I said, you just can't tell me stories, you understand, and give me, I need facts, proof, and evidence, you understand. And it seems to me that the head man don't know nothing about it. They didn't tell him. See, I'm sorry. I got carried away.
I agree with you, Juan. But it just lets you know what exists among us. So don't get all warm and kumbaya and warm and fuzzy because just like he was trying to warn us in the New Testament, he was trying to tell us they still exist today. And they're among us today. And you have to watch and judge fruit. So for all of you all that's listening to us out there in internet, on the internet or YouTube or Facebook, you have to be able to judge fruit. Because you're becoming conscious, don't just run to the first thing you see. Because some of this stuff is wicked. Some of these people, they sound real good, and you listen to them for a while, and then you start listening to them real close, and you like, nah, I'm good. I ain't even get. And some of them cuss so bad you can't even begin to even. You can't get past it.
Right.
And guess what? They have the largest following, the ones that do all the cussing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They do.
That's true.
But they do.
You MNFing and so and so and so, and it's like, oh my goodness, I ain't gonna be able to do this. You know, it's like, where is the spirit? Where is the ruach?
Right.
Where is the love?
Mm-hmm.
There's a video out about this a guy, one of them street preachers. He's from the organization on One West, the Commandment Keepers. You understand? And he said that when we get back into the kingdom, we're gonna be taking them young girls at ages of 12. Where did he get?
I saw that one. I heard.
You saw that one? Oh my God, man! What kind of is that?
Well, I heard. Guess what, Brother Donnie? I got one up on you. I heard him say from the ages of, what did he say? 3 years old.
Oh,
I'm like, you know what, you a pedophile.
Right.
But guess what? When you did, like, all I'm telling you all is this: when you start looking around, you pray about it. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I mean, they used to have a saying in the church that you chew up the meat and spit out the bones. You know, and like I said, some of them are great teachers, but it's some stuff that's just really out there. I mean, I heard a guy say something. He said he literally cussed his own mama out and told him he didn't give a F about her and he wished she was dead. And if he had an opportunity, he'd kill her himself because women ain't this and they ain't that. And I was like, wow. You know, and I'm telling you, we got to begin to pray.
Right.
Ain't going to let them guys get away. I'm going to tell you that right now. You don't get away. Dealing with the Almighty. And when you start leading the people astray, you understand, you're causing yourself a real problem.
And they're subtle too. Like they'll use this whole Mother's Day thing. You know, of course we don't celebrate Mother's Day, but they'll use the subtlety of the serpent in the tree of knowledge of good and evil. They use that subtlety of like, I'm going to use Mother's Day to attack women. You know, I mean, you can, with the fruit of the Spirit, you know, deny the fact that, you know, just say, well, I don't support Mother's Day. You know, you don't have to throw you ain't got to put no salt and pepper, no hot sauce on that. You can just give the scripture for that. You ain't got to spice that up and make somebody like, that's hot. You know, you don't have to do it like that. You just have to say the reason why and just let it go and be peaceful. And you can still say that you love I love my mother. I love my sisters, my daughter. You know, I love these women. So it's not something that I'm not gonna take it to another level about being disrespectful. They don't even see disrespect. They don't even see the disrespect in it.
Someone put your phone on mute. Hold on.
And I'll be here till 9.
Oh, we go every week. Hold on.
That's not me.
There's the crackers in there.
Oh.
That's why I got full of.
That's not me. I don't know who that is.
Right, and that me. Okay, let me see. All right, brother, you Camden, go ahead. I got your mic on.
Yeah, it's just that you see it, and they just look at it. You know, they just look at these different opportunities just to attack. You know, and what people don't understand is that all of the righteous are not on Facebook. So when you look at this thing, Facebook, social media, Google Plus, YouTube, everybody righteous ain't on that.
That's true.
Don't think that's the whole thing. That's not the whole thing. Satan is the one who's promoting. He's pushing hard. He's got to get people's souls. He's out for souls. He's trying to harvest souls, and he's going to get them. If he can get you to turn away from this right here and get confused and everything, you just have to find which one of those seeds are you in the parable of the sower. You better, you make your election sure. Don't let nothing deter you because you've already been warned by by Yeshua that this is going to happen. Every last one of us. And then what's the scripture says that even the very elect can be fooled? What was that? What's this? I gotta try to remember some of these key scriptures, but he's a deceiver, deceives the whole world. And it's just another form of him. And it also shows up when you see people who just keep hating on white people. When you see it, it's not necessary to hate. Vengeance is mine, saith the Lord. You don't have to hate anybody.
Right.
It's not your business to hate. The words coming out of your mouth are vengeance.
That's right.
It's not like an action to them. It's the words coming out of your very mouth of vengeance. That's not your position. I remember coming up, and if my parents were punishing my sisters, I better not say nothing.
Right. Right.
I'm gonna say nothing, not with my parents, ever, because I'm gonna get it, and that's the whole thing. Because we don't understand it. It's just like the order of a family, and a lot of people have not been in a family. They've been in survival units. They haven't seen a father and a mother work together. They haven't seen that, So I don't know what's going on, but the thing about it is that don't be deceived by any of this nonsense. When this looks like total nonsense and foolishness, it's evil. That's all you got to do is say it's evil and let it move and move on.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
And I wanted to thank everybody for me. Make sure this is. But I thank everybody for joining us this evening. Sister Aaliyah, I appreciate you for coming aboard. I need to, Mikael, when you guys come aboard, because I would love for you all to be at the State of the Nation address this year. We've made some changes. I'm asking no one to make any plane arrangements until you hear from us tomorrow, because we've changed some things to make it more convenient for everybody to be able to come. And on that note, I want to say thank you all for joining us, and I hope that you all have enjoyed the program and the class. And like I said, if you guys want to hang around and just talk, the ones that do, you're more than welcome to do that. The ones who want to leave, you can do that too, but I'm going to discontinue the recording. Shalom, shalom.